back here at Eden Fractal on June 4th for our 141st Respect Game event here. We're metamorphosizing the future of fractal decision-making processes throughout society. Back with Eric, too, a longtime contributor and well-respected community member of Eden Fractal we haven't seen in a while, as well as Zaal, another great, well-respected community member who just gave a great presentation at the town hall about Zao Fractal. So I'm excited to see what you guys have been up to as far as your most recent progress towards Eden Fractal's mission and vision, helping people make better decisions. People can check out the video with the Zao Fractal and everything else we discussed. Oh, we actually didn't discuss Eden Fractal's 4-year anniversary is coming up in 2 weeks from now, or actually like 4 days from now. We're going to celebrate it, I think, in 2 weeks from now on June 18th. So I guess we'll just have kind of a laid-back celebration there, or we can figure out something in the Telegram chat. But encourage people to check it out, and I just want to express great appreciation for everybody who's participated and supported Eden Fractal over the past 4 years. I'm excited to see what we'll grow into and how caterpillars turn into butterflies and go around the world and stuff. I'm excited to see what our next 4 years will bring us as we enter our new chat and our next chapters. So anyway, encourage people to check out the Twitter account and so forth, the Eden Creators, and like and retweet. If anybody's not familiar, check out edenfractal.com. We're a community dedicated to improving collective decision making, and we recently released all the new videos like charting the firmament and maintaining new roots on the Eden Creators YouTube channel. Recommend checking it out. I don't know, Eric, what you're up to, if you've been keep up with the progress, but those videos are there whenever you're not able to make the event and you want to check it out. Those are on Eden Town Hall website, Eden Fractal website, and so forth. So we've been discussing really good stuff and making good progress, and we'll have the next event on the 18th, as I mentioned, for the 4-year celebration. And for today, we're going to play the Respect game. So you guys know how it works, of course. We're each going to take our turns and share what we've been up to, and then we're going to post it on chain on the eden.frapsa.xyz, and we're going to try to share our contributions that are related to Eden Fractal's mission and vision, implementing fractal decision-making processes throughout society. So with that, I'll close my presentation. There's just the 3 of us now, so we can also kind of keep it more casual too. If you guys want to, if Eric, you want to share anything you've been up to over the spring break, it's been a while since we've seen each other, or if you wanted to share that during your Respect Game presentation, then we can as well. When the floor is open, basically. If you guys want to start with the Respect Game or share anything before we jump into it, then feel free.
Lots been going on. Lots been going on.
Okay, I figure.
For me, the whole key is about adoption. How do you come up with stuff, but it doesn't do any good if it's tough getting people to use it? So that's really what I've been doing, is getting people to sign up. In the chain right now, the process going on, I have about 85 people over several organizations. The one I'm helping out is the fastest growing. I have like 35 people in 2 weeks. So, but there's kind of 3 parts of a great offer. The first is an obvious offer. I know what I get. I get it. It's clear. I want it. And the second part is an intuitive path. Oh, I know how to get it. That makes sense. I click here. I go on Discord. I do it. If it gets too confusing, people bail. I've learned that over a lot of years. But the part I keep still having to remind myself is the internal resonance of the offer. There's what people tell you they want. There's what really resonates with them about the offer and with you and your ability to pull off the offer. And so a lot of times I listen to what people say they want, and I package it up and give it back to them, and then I'm talking for an hour and pulling people in, and then I hear what they're really asking for, and I talk 15 minutes and they say, I'm in, which happened to me recently. I go, that's different. Then I had another appointment in the afternoon, there 15 minutes, I'm in. Like, let's do it. So, for example, I'm dealing with nonprofits, and what they basically said is that they wanted more funding, more and better services, and lower costs, which is true. But when I talked about what they really want, that wasn't it. So while that's true, what's getting the resonance of the offer is, when I talk to nonprofit leaders, they often tell me that they are carrying everything alone, and that managing volunteers feels like more work, not less. So that's what resonates. Like, I don't want to be alone. I need help. I can't keep running this stuff by myself. So what I'm promising is an 8-week sprint. In 8 weeks, I will launch a system that keeps volunteers showing up for each other, so that the leader stops being the system and they get help that they can count on. So that's just kind of a lesson that might help is we're recruiting is listen what people aren't telling you. Make sure you hit that thing, because it makes a big difference. I've been working on all the messages that drive people through this long process I have. Hopefully, Dan, you've been getting some of them lately. But that messaging has changed a lot, and it's become many times more effective. I don't know if that makes sense. So obvious offer, intuitive path, but it's that internal resonance that has been the kicker to relearn yet again.
Nice.
That
Well,
makes sense?
yeah, that makes sense for sure. Thank you for sharing and and working to help these nonprofit leaders, and then sharing your experience and learnings with us. So, this is so. Well, maybe just a step back. So I know prior to the Eden Fractal Spring Break, you were organizing. I think you had. I think it was an 8-week program. I don't know if it was 8 weeks, but you had a program basically um, where you were testing. You'd built the app you're using, which is like a fractal app, and an app for doing these consensus processes, and then you're testing that with people, and you're also improving the app as a result of those tests and getting feedback from people. And then during the break or after the spring break, ever since then, you've been either facilitating or planning or offering these 8-week programs that I know you had partnered up with like 4 different nonprofit organizations, I believe, that you were planning to host
Yeah.
these.
Yeah. So what I did was I got everything ready, did a lot of testing with the app, thanks to a whole crew of people that I did it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and people would step in and we would just run it, and they would say, I don't get it, or this makes sense, doesn't make sense. And then I would take that, add that in, do the next version. I just kept doing that for, over a month, till people said, this seems to make sense. I like it. So I tested it with a small group that helps women and children overcome domestic violence. And the result is that in little as 4 weeks, I was able to measure and improve motivation with a small group. So now we're in the launching 2 or 3 right now, 2 new groups. And one group is the Career Catalyst Collaborative, which is a platform that connects students, schools, and employers with real world experience, so that students get paid for their passion, schools can focus on employment, and employers can get the highly aligned new talent that they need. And so I had to learn to redefine what volunteering is. Because what we're saying is, can you help us with an 8-week sprint to figure out what this needs? And in digging deeper with that resonance, I found that most people automatically translated volunteer is that's where somebody tells me what to show up, when to show up, what to do. And it's like, paid slavery, and I'm not interested. So, after I got the organizations to say, okay, this resonates, let's do it, I realized as they, invited their volunteers in, I had to be clear that this is not your traditional volunteering. This is not your traditional participation. So I had to really think through how to describe what makes this different with people. And that is actually so far resonating really well.
Okay, nice. Well, um, um, I'm glad to hear that it's resonating well, and I appreciate the update. And so, and I guess we're kind of going a little bit off format, or maybe we'll just start the official respect game soon. I'm just kind of curious to hear, and it's been a while since we talked. But yeah, so basically, so there's now, I guess, three organizations that you're currently working with, and are you hosting these kinds of events with their volunteers, or are you mostly working with the nonprofit founders or board members or something like that? I say
I'm
nonprofit
fine
leaders.
tuning the leaders to launch within weeks.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm busy moving all the volunteers. I have a whole pipeline that I have to do because of my research.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have to move them with messages and a system to get them ready.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to get them ready for what's coming so that I set expectations. And that messaging took a lot of still tweaking, but that's come a long way. And then for me, I have to get them to take a survey to measure motivation. So first I have to get them in to get them to sign the consent form because that's required by my that IRB, the university. Then I have to give them a volunteer ID, which I randomly assign, and then I have to get them to take a motivation survey. So we measure their motivation going in, and then I need to get them ready for the next step, which is where I give them a time poll to figure out when we're going to meet. And then I have to get them in, do a training once. They can show up in person or watch the recording, and we actually go through the app and how it works and what this is all about. And then from then we go ahead and launch the sessions. And then I changed it a bit once I noticed in the last session, I'm running out of time. So I noticed in the last session that 4 weeks showed a positive uptake in the samples that we got. It's a small sample, so I can't guarantee it. So I got my board to agree to let me test it 0, 4 weeks, and 8 weeks. So that even if people drop out, I only get 4 sessions out of people, hopefully I can collect enough data to defend. So, but that's been the real trick for me is actually thinking of their onboarding process, which is a good tool for us. We think about how do we get new people? How do we get them ready? How do we set expectations? How do we motivate them? So we have minimal steps because as soon as I finish my doctorate, I can yank, don't need a survey, don't need that. But the lesson learned is you still got to get them ready so that when they show up, they kind of are in the right context and the right frame of mind to move forward.
Right. Okay. Fascinating. So basically, you've been on one hand working with the nonprofit leaders to understand what they want and what they need and what they really need. Um,
And how they need to hear it and how they
yes.
need to hear it,
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
which is not what they will tell you if you say, what do you need? How do you want to hear it? The answer they give is logical and right, but it's not what resonates.
Right. Stated preference versus revealed preferences.
Yes, exactly. Nobody wants a mortgage, but everybody wants to be able to afford a house or lower their payments.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't logically talk about why this is, but you got to figure out what resonates and then why are you the one that they should turn to for this? So that the messaging and resonance has been a big thing. for me. The other thing is with the latest, I actually end up creating partnerships that are now recruiting for me. So that's the other thing is why should you recruit for me, which is a whole nother ask. But that's why we got 35 in like 2 weeks.
That's the nonprofit leaders who are helping to recruit for you, or the volunteers who are helping to recruit for you, and they're basically saying like, "Oh, you should go to
Volunteer.
Eric's
These
program."
this is actually the volunteers and partners. We're coming with partners that collaborate. We have a platform people can collaborate on, so we're getting different people who have different interests in that to come together and recruit for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I could do more. The problem is just, I've been like sending hundreds of emails myself to get through this. So I'm trying to work on, automating that. And one of the problems I have with that is just the university has requirements that get in the way of them just filling this out. It goes, here you go, and sends the next thing. So because of the way I'm protecting data and things like that, it's going to be a lot easier once I get this off. We can just put this all and go high level and have an engine that recruits and maintains and things like that. So I've also got partners in events. So we've created a new interface with EventShip where people can actually post events under our banner. And what we do that fits the vision is we are not making any value judgment on whether we think it's a good event at all. Because our feeling is, how would we know? Try whatever you think will work. The platform will tell us if it works. If people give it good reviews and keep showing up, then it's a good thing. But what we don't want is the Wild West where people do something that is harmful or bad intentions. So we get the veto authority for events, but not based on whether we think it's a good event. Just doesn't fit the vision under our banner, what we're trying to do. And, is it well intentioned? I don't care if they put the Zao 20 times and talk about it. The purpose of that event can't be to say, oh, look at me, let's talk about me. It should be, here's some benefit of you put on by this. And by the way, here's who we are and here's how you find out more information. We're okay with people doing those events. They're just in a separate category, not public benefit events. So we're good. People need to promote themselves. So we worked on the developer to create that interface so that we could gain synergy of other people joining because we're giving them some autonomy. And we put these events in specific vision categories. Like one of them are job shadow. They're opportunities, job shadow. So not just events, they're opportunities like job shadowing. So that's another thing when we're talking about how do you recruit people is you allow them to join for the reasons they want to join, as long as it's a piece that supports the vision. Like if somebody wants to have a programming event, they could, Tadas could have a programming event and just book it and see the whole. You can see all events under one platform. It's not Luma because Luma won't give us this custom front end to do that. And we're working with the guy who's doing that whole system. So I'm friends with the guy in San Diego who's doing that. So I worked with them because together we built that interface.
Okay, so
I know that's a lot of stuff. I was just trying to kind of give some big picture things in there.
yeah.
The key is messaging resonance and getting recruiting partners. That's things to think about that might have some value on what everybody's doing.
Yeah, and so basically, to try to like put it into a nutshell, you are working with nonprofit leaders, building relationships with them, learning the messaging about what they really want and what they need to hear to want to implement these fractal decision-making processes with their nonprofit and mobilize their volunteers and stuff like that. You're also working with the volunteers of these nonprofits to train them
And motivate them, because the
yeah,
reason
motivate them
they're
and train them.
joined
Yeah.
is the reason they'll do it is different than the reason that the leaders will do it. The leaders will do it because, boy, I need some help, and the best way to get help is volunteers, but that always works out bad for me. It's just a bunch of people that create work, and it's painful, and I'm doing everything myself anyway. But once you say, okay, here's a way to get help, then you have to set their context and motivate them to do it. And then there's the idea of, okay, so what partnerships can you do within a specific framework to amplify getting people on board? You know how hard it is to get people to show up and spread the word. So I've been experimenting with ways to do that. So we showed up, we had a booth at just a small event on vibe coding, Vibe Fest. And, we got several people sign up right there, and they actually spread the word and brought in a bunch of other people. And as a result of that, we got a group at the university, and their student group is now creating recruiting events for us. They're creating a recruiting event right there, and they have access to book free space because they're students, to bring on students.
Okay, nice. So, um, all this is
And
great. I
and then
appreciate sharing the details.
the other problem I have is it's going too well in some areas, so I have a danger of getting distracted off of meeting my timeline, because I have to like present this like in September to
Hmm.
finish this thing, or it all goes away.
And by the thing, you
But
mean
for
dissertation?
example, I had a meeting with the mayor of San Diego, and there's a tension to go, oh, let's just jump on that, and no, stop it, stop it. And I met with the vice president and CIO of a university. It's like, no, no, stop, stop that, stop that. Okay, stop getting excited about where this could go.
Okay, I guess we'll have to wait another year or something for San Diego Fractal to happen.
Oh, no, it shouldn't be that much.
Okay, maybe
Shouldn't
six
be. I
months.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Well,
yeah. The idea is to keep launching these things. Just keep doing one, then another, then another.
yeah, because each one that you get with, say, a nonprofit, provided that goes well for them, and you do, and so also another interesting aspect that maybe just worth pointing out here is just that the volunteers, they're already interested in helping the specific cause of the nonprofit because that's why they're there
Right.
volunteering. So it's kind of like just helping them do that better as well as helping them accomplish any other goals they might have. And so like kind of like maybe bootstrapping, or like I don't know what that phrase is, like going along with that existing want and desire and need that they have to help serve the nonprofit, and then showing them a different and a better way to volunteer and collaborate, and they can do so with the other volunteers
Yeah.
using this wider process.
Yeah. So what the messaging comes down, and this could work for anybody, but what I've found in the messaging is that most nonprofits don't have a volunteer problem. They have a consistency problem. People start strong, life gets busy, and best intentions fade. And the reason it does that is because volunteers don't need more time. They only have the time they have. They need a better way to show up, so that even if they only have an hour a month, that hour has an impact they feel good about and want to be coming back. So whatever time they have, it has to count. And the better way to show up, I came up with a name and even got the domain. I'm calling it contribution circles,
Hmm.
because it gives an anchor and people go, oh, I get that. So
Hmm.
contribution circles are the better way to show up. And what that means is, over an 8-week sprint, we're going to connect you with lots of people and ideas, and allow you to engage with them in the way that makes sense for you. If you just want to show up and give support, if you want to give feedback, if you want to collaborate on ideas, or even move into extending roles or creating new roles, everything counts. It doesn't matter. They all make a difference, and they all provide value. So now people are saying, like, oh, okay, this makes sense. You're just expecting me to do what I can do. It's only for 8 week as a kickoff. And if I like it, I can keep going. So you're letting them know up front that I'm not going to try and lasso you in and pressure you after that. So that's kind of how I had to redefine volunteering, is this is a way for you, a better way to show up to make whatever you are willing to give in the way you want to give it make sense. And of course, we give the appreciation points, so it automatically does that. I did get rid of levels because my feedback on using app is people didn't get it. So I just gave the levels names. Congratulations. I just call it, builder, whatever, and here's your points. So they get a score at the end that'll say, this level name Daniel and they're Dan, and here's the points.
Is there still?
And then they get in.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was just going to ask: is there still a concept of like ranking? Like it's just like random names?
Oh yeah,
or
no, it
it's still,
starts
like,
by
it's
starts
first
just by
place, second place, and so forth. Or
yeah, but I just stopped calling it that.
okay,
I just say who you get the name. So if we're here, we would all be on the list, and it would say whose share did you appreciate most in pursuit of the mission this much, and you would say, oh yeah, Zaal. And once we pick Zaal, his name disappears off the list, and then it says, now who's based on who's here, whose share do you appreciate the most? And then I would say Dan, and your name would go, and then it automatically pick me. Then at the end, it would say, and here's results, and it would give a name, first, second, third place, and it would have the points. But I just stopped calling them first, second, third place. I definitely did not call them level 6, 5, because that was when we did the work, that was just confusing the crap out of people. Was 6 good or bad? So I just got rid of it, and people like it because it gives a nice sounding name, and they can see who got the most points. So it doesn't do that, but they found they just like that better.
okay,
So
that's interesting.
that may change in the future. I just did it by having people show up 3 days a week and test that and give me their feedback. And their feedback is they didn't really need first, second, third place. They know it in there, but they definitely hated level 6, level 5. So the code still talks level 6, 5. So you look at the code, the software code, it says that. It just doesn't present that to the users. They just go, well, who do you appreciate the most? Now who do you appreciate the most? And now who do you appreciate the most? And then it just automatically assigns the points and gives it to them right there.
Okay, yeah, that's good feedback. We've been planning to move over from 6, 5, 4 and stuff to like first, second, third at some point, but I think that having the names in there, like, I don't know, like champion or lead or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Like,
Catalyst, Builder, and I used AI to come up with the best names, and I ran the best names in front of people and say, what did you like? So admittedly, I did this as a pretty hurried sample, but they basically helped me pick names. But it's like Catalyst, Builder, Contribute, whatever it is, they sound good, and people seem to like those. So that's my initial. So you see, I've been doing a lot since we went on break.
Nice. Yeah, I'm glad to see it. And in the beginning, you said you had 80 people you're working with, I guess 80 volunteers and 35 people in one community. And these are the 3 communities you've been kind of
Yeah, I've got like
working
80,
for yourself?
85 on my list at various stages, and I'm moving all to where I'm getting ready to do the time poll. So I'm moving as many of them as I can down the list to do the time poll, and I'm saying, oh, this person needed 3 emails, this person did it in 1, this person did it 2. So I've been fine-tuning how to do the emails to get more people moving down that list. So,
all right, excellent. Well, that's awesome. I suppose we should get going to do the respect game sometime soon. Hear from Zao. We heard from Zao a lot last time. You should maybe check out the video and hear what he's been up to with the Zao Fractal. But maybe soon we should.
he's always good to get up to good stuff.
Yeah, he is.
He's executing. If there's one thing, Zal, you do execute gold stars.
He executes with a Z. Yep, I agree. And as are you, Eric, too. It's wonderful to hear all the progress you're making, and this is an awesome update. So yeah, if there's anything else you want to share, I don't want to cut you off. But
I'll just put I'll just put the websites in the chat. You can see.
Yeah.
What I'm doing. I've got to.
Yeah, I'd love to learn more and see if you have any I don't know, documentation up or videos at Impactful Giving?
Oh, by the way, to run this new one, we're building a pretty sophisticated AI backend to manage the organization, manage
Mm-hmm.
the strategies, the documents, and even the marketing automation.
Okay, nice. Glad to hear. Yeah, Zaal and I have both been working with AI skills a lot and automating a lot with it. So I imagine there's probably a little bit of crossover there, and excited to see how you're building it and hope it's working well. I imagine it probably is working pretty well for
But
you.
the thing is that we're just building an operating system for people who can't spell AI. That's the difference. Is TDOS is doing incredibly powerful, good, leading edge kind of stuff. And again, I'm all about how do you get people to adopt it? How do you
Mm-hmm.
get people to adopt? So we're putting people in there, things that people go, oh, I want this, I do it. And then the idea is after you get them in to create levels where they want to learn more, they get more, they do more. So this is kind of the what you'd call the lead magnet and the tripwire stage in traditional marketing. That's what I'm working on, is what's the lead magnet and the tripwire, the first thing they buy or buy into. Then how do we move that up? Because the whole value ladders are changing with AI like crazy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it makes sense, and I appreciate you helping to make all these things we're building here at Eden Fractal more accessible for everybody. And I love the kind of this kind of process or workflow. I don't know exactly what to call it, but basically this process of onboarding nonprofit leaders, the volunteers, and helping them in different ways to align their goals with and provide fractal decision making processes in the app that that you've developed and so forth with their goals. I think that's awesome, and I see a lot of
And
potential
turning
in
it
that
over to
flow.
them. That's the big key,
Yeah.
is after the 8-week sprint, how do you turn it over to them? So with the software I've done, I can teach somebody to do it in like one session.
Mm-hmm.
And by 8 session, it should be a habit. So the next real key is how do I turn that over to them? And the real thing is right now I am controlling, the emails and the tracking, but that's on my system. So do I let them continue to use my system or do I roll it over to theirs? I don't know the answer to that yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you can
Okay.
check out impactfulgiving.org. That's kind of what I'm doing. There's a section there for nonprofit leaders. I constantly need to keep updating that, so I'm gonna have to update again. And then an example of what I've done is really good is the Career Catalyst Collaborative.org. So if you look at that web page, you'll see an actual organization I'm supporting and what we've done with this.
Should I pull those up on the screen real quick?
Sure. I'm pretty proud of the Career Catalyst Collaborative.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. I like what you said before about helping them get started, helping them get on a roll with it. Basically, kind of like planting the seed for them to use fractal decision making processes, then they can grow. So these are some of the organizations you're working with: TIE, NextGen, Startup San Diego, Aquilius Institute, and Career Catalyst and Career Catalyst Collaborative. This is Impactful Giving. No, yeah, impactfulgiving.org. And then
Yeah, and then there's a section there for leaders. So if I'm going leaders, I send them right to that page. So if you say lead a nonprofit down there, if you click on that one, you can see that how I approach. So it's the blue button that just says, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Okay, interesting. I'm going to read this after the event today. This looks great. Well, thanks so much, Eric, for sharing. And then you mentioned we only have 20 minutes left, so we should probably do the respect game pretty soon. But the last thing you
And just look
mentioned
at the
is
Career
this.
Catalyst real
Yeah,
quick. There you go, there.
yeah, Career Catalyst Collaborative.org. It's a little of a tongue twister you got there. For people
Hey,
who can't say AI, they might have a difficulty with that one.
I tried to get every other domain short that I could find.
Uh
And when
huh.
you use the word career,
Yeah.
it's just, it's
Yeah.
bad.
Apparently, career is important to
So we
people.
just called it C3. You could see a lot.
Okay, cool. Well, it's nice. So it's got a nice ring, and the website looks very nice as well. Okay, and so this is the
But as
C3
you
Career
as you
Catalyst
go down, you
Collaborative.
could see.
Just let me know if anywhere should stop. I'm just kind of scrolling through and just giving a quick look. I'm
No,
also
it's just
excited
a
to read
pretty
into this
good,
too.
just a pretty good overview of, how an organization can join and how we can implement it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see. 2 ways to participate today. Building C3 together. You can volunteer to help build the platform and have 1 hour a week for 8 weeks. For students, schools, and employers and parents, they can provide input to build it right, and volunteer through our partner program at impactfulgiving.org. So, very interesting. Amazing. Thank you, Eric. I'm really excited to read into this, and I'm wishing you and the partner organizations and all the people involved volunteering and working with these organizations the very best. And I hope that the programs go great, and I'm really looking forward to hearing your updates along the way as they grow, and hope that the overall dissertation that you're doing goes well too, and this provides you with the kind of research you're looking for, as well as helps these communities really get started benefiting from fractal decision-making processes and these kinds of consensus games that you're sharing with them, and become catalysts and so forth, and they really enjoy it. And then, yeah, I hope that this process continues to grow for impactful giving, so you can help many other leaders and volunteers to better achieve their missions, and also at the same time help spread the word about fractal decision-making processes too. All right. If there's any last words, Eric, feel free to share. But otherwise, maybe it's good now if Zaal shares what he's been up to in the respect game, or I can share what I've been up to in the respect game, and then we have about 15-20 minutes left, and we can reach consensus and give each other some respect, like we do here at Eden Fractal, and then if we have any extra time afterwards, we can come back to some other topics as well. And in the meantime, or for later, everybody can check out these articles later, of course, too.
Why don't you go first?
Okay, sounds good. I'll go first. Yeah, I suppose I'll just go ahead right now. Is there anything else you want to say there, Eric, before I go? Okay, sounds good.
No, we're good.
All right, so that's gonna be a tough one to follow up on. That was a great, like a 40-minute contribution. It was maybe one of the biggest contributions we've had here at Eden Fractal. It sounded like you're going to say something there. I don't know, but feel free to go ahead if you wanted to. But otherwise, I guess I'll go. Okay, cool. So what I do? Oh, I'm actually on my area here too. So Dan Singjoy. What did Dan Singjoy do? And what's up with all those stars? I got stars in my background today. They came back from Zoom for some reason. I guess because I was working on the firmament a lot this week. Well, I voted on the proposals. That was like a little thing I did, but I sometimes don't do that, and Toss reminded me to do that. So I voted on the proposals just to show the on-chain support. And then one of the things I've been working on, speaking of AI, is I've been working with Notion AI, and I've been working on a skill for Eden Fractal Respect Game contribution reports. I haven't yet read this because I did a first version of it this morning, and I had like this chat. I just showed it actually, and I was going back and forth with the chat, and I had like all these like the first version wasn't so great and stuff like that, so I made some edits to it, but I haven't had the chance to reread the most recent version. So I'm going to share what it showed here and see how it goes. I kind of did experiment a little bit with all sorts of different ways to show it before, but I suppose as a summary, I published a lot about Firmament over the past week. I published it yesterday on the Eden Fractal Matrix space. So a couple of months ago, I started the Eden Fractal Matrix space. We've been exploring Matrix as an alternative to Telegram, and also as a way to do collaborative work together on documentation and specifications and writing and so forth. And over the past months, I've been talking a lot with Das about Firmament, and I've been seeing increasingly more value in it. And last event, I joked around with Das that I had like written a book about Firmament, the Book of Firmament, with Claude over the spring break, and then I was working on that quite a lot over the past few days, especially. I drafted a bunch of articles with Claude last month, and then I have like all these different articles about like what is Firmament, like for a beginner overview and a comprehensive technical analysis, and then and so these were all drafted. But one of the things I did was I made a better summary, like a starter guide, and actually put it into this matrix space so we can collaborate on it. And I invited to DOS. If any of you else would like to see this, then I'm happy to share as well, so you can read into it. Some of it goes pretty into depth, but yeah, there's this like basically this overview of all the different articles that I had upgraded here to explain more about Firmament, and then there's kind of like a summary about what each article is about, basically explaining what Firmament is from different angles as I was learning about these things, and how we could potentially launch an Eden Fractal chain in the coming weeks, like a firm chain, and then yeah, I came up with this idea for actually releasing this as a book and releasing it on Firmament. Firmament is like this cryptographically secured Git repository is the way you can think of it in a way, and it's like basically a blockchain, but it's a Git repository. Tadassa released it, had shared it back in 2023 or 2022, and I've been diving deeper into it and seeing the benefits of it over time. So I shared this with Tadassa, and I put it up in the starter guide, and then there's these articles here where you can see like the more detailed, intro to Firmament articles and stuff like that, where it has all these details. These were mostly written, as I said, a month ago, but I made some tweaks and I organized them to share them all this week. And then I came with the idea of the book this week too and started working on that. I hosted the Eden Town Hall and the Eden Fractal Respect game as well. I also worked on the promotion as well quite a bit this week for just like tweaking and getting the promotion right with Zaal. I had coordinated with Zaal a couple weeks ago to to basically coordinate for him to share the presentation of Zao Fractal and introduce the Zao Games. So we shared some messages there, and then I worked on getting the promotion language right and stuff like that. And then while I was doing that, I also built a skill for Eden Fractal promotions as well, so we can make this go kind of faster, distill the promotion lessons into a reusable event promotion skill with AI. Also, when I was working on the Firmament stuff, I came up with, and this is another thing I've been working on with Matrix, something I'm calling the fractal development process, that basically a process where communities can collaborate to build, to write things together, like to write the specifications, the constitution of Eden Fractal, the intent document, also specifications for applications that we want to build together, or books like creative endeavors like the Firmament. I started working on this kind of fractal development process, and then I also did a lot of work setting up the nonprofit organization for the Eden Fractal, or nonprofit to support Eden Fractal as well. I researched a lot of things about fundraising and set up a fundraising hub, and then organized a lot of the documents there and did a lot of research into the legal documents that I would need to create it. This also kind of relates to Firmament too, because I think that it's useful to put a lot of these documents on this kind of cryptographically secure kind of blockchain of documents for both the community and the foundation to make it more legitimate and verifiable and accessible and legible. And then I also renovated the cross-sites video strategy across Eden Fractal, Eden Town Hall, and prior fractals that have been published by the Eden creators. So I created like some vision documents and projects and tasks to improve how the videos display on the website. So I kind of went into summary a lot there, but basically there's all these different articles. I actually didn't link the articles, unfortunately, but these all have pages that, yeah, you can see some of them have pages here, but yeah, basically there's like some there's a whole bunch of pages I created here. Some of them are vision documents, some of them are projects, some of them are tasks. Basically, each one of these are pages I just didn't link. So like there's a vision for publishing the Book of Firmament on its own chain, which is really nice and interesting. And then there's more. Also, in addition, I made some responses in the chats to various community members over the past few days, Tanja, and I just responded to Sebastian and GudaSol as well. And then, yeah, there's just, I had to work on this skill because right now it's like too difficult to read. There's too much here, and it's not linking the pages. My idea was I can click on these links, but the AI messed that up. So, oh yeah, no, you can't see that. So here's one, for example. Here's a related page about the fractal decision-making process, but actually it's not opening in the right way. But yeah, this is just like an example, basically, of this fractal decision-making process project with like tasks. So kind of deep into it about developing these systems and so forth. I've probably been going for over 5 minutes though, so I think that I'll just briefly see if there's anything else that I did that I didn't mention at all. Yeah, there's a research document for New Hour and Philanthropy, working on the videos pages, but I think I probably gave a good enough overview here of the things I've been doing, and I'll share more in the future. And Zaal, are you ready to go now?
Yeah, sure, let's do it. I'm actually just about to pull up to the house, but I can share on the voice what I can right now.
Okay.
It might cut out for a brief second, um, so if it does, just give me a shout and I'll repeat myself. But what's up, everybody? GMZM. I shared a little bit earlier in the town hall today about the Zao Games, the Zao Fractal, current improvements and iterations there. We, in the last 2 weeks, had our Zao Fractal 101, which has been exciting. I have been working on just educating folks about fractals. The Zao Games ultimately is focused on all of the Zao projects, but one of the projects that I've been working on as a solo individual within our whole community has been Zao Fractals. So one of the goals of the Zao Games is to get a lot more distribution, a lot more light, a lot more awareness around what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it with governance surrounding our community. And I think that can be really powerful. So the Zao Games should be a great way to help distribute and disseminate some of that information, and get hopefully some people to build some of these contribution requests. I know that Dan earlier today had said we are trying to use the contribution request tooling, but we might not get to it XYZ fast. I think we might have a really good group of builders with some of the communities I'm around on Farcaster that after hearing about how awesome some of the tech is here, be willing to come in and help build some things if we have a list of things for people to build. So trying to target all of those individuals, trying to bring more people into the fold. Dan had mentioned speaking with Tanja or Tanja. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce her name, but I spoke to her earlier today. She's really excited getting people together for her version of the fractal, a lot more normie friendly, a lot less blockchain folks, and trying to just figure out how she's going to create her version of contribution circles. So, Eric, you might be a really good person for her to have a conversation with as well. She definitely is a lot less technically inclined, so she wants to try and make it as simple as possible, which I think you guys align with really well. I'd say that's a majority of the different things I've been contributing towards. Of course, doing a million things all at once, but ultimately the goal is to bring more attention and people to fractals. Been thinking about what the best way to actually do that is within our organization, and I think helping build the ecosystem out, and bringing more people within our community and within mutual communities to just hear what fractals are and get the people that have a lot of energy around that on board. Yeah, that's it for me.
All right, sounds great. Thank you so much, Zaal, for all your contributions to Eden Fractal and also sharing it with us here. If there's anything else that you did want to share, then you probably could still speak for another minute or two and you have more time left. But whenever you're ready, you can also join, or actually, no, I already invited you to join and you already are a member of, oh, I actually didn't name this properly. It's currently called Dan, Zaal, and Eric, but I'll try to rename that to EF 141. Yeah, so please, when you're able to share your address, your base address in the Telegram group called EF141.
Awesome. And then another idea I had when you were talking was, and I don't know how hard this will be, but everything's technically up on YouTube. So I would love an agent, an Eden Fractal agent, that all it has in its information is the transcripts of all of the Eden Fractals, because it could be really powerful to go back to things, especially for me, but also anyone that's new. I think there could be a lot there. And it's been really cool that you've captured all of the data. Now actually extracting that and making it useful could be a really powerful level up for the Eden Fractal community.
I agree, 100%. That's something that I've also been researching and figuring out the best way to do it too. So that's definitely a good direction. And I don't I've heard. I think the term diarization is where you can kind of summarize a little bit because that's too much of the context window basically of frontier models right now. All those, but if we can maybe have some summaries and some sort of system where the AIs can go through summaries and then dive deeper into videos when there's something good there. So we'll have to develop some sort of system there. And if you make any progress, then let me know. I don't know exactly the best way, but that's also something that I'm very interested in doing as well. And that'll help with all fractals to better understand all the great wisdom and ideas that people have been sharing and learning and contributing here at Eden Fractal. Okay, so I think that we're ready to go ahead and share. Where am I at? I haven't facilitated here we go. So I just remembered how to do it. So I now just put out the poll for who should be ranked level 6, aka who wants to be the catalyst. Don't worry about level 6. Who wants to be the catalyst here? Okay. It looks like I have consensus. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. And now we'll vote for level 5. And it looks like we have consensus on Eric. And now we'll vote for level 4. Actually, no, we don't need to vote for level 4 because Zaal gets level 4. So
it's tough when you have 3 executors all playing here. It's just, I mean, it's...
Yeah, I have a question for you, Dan. Is there a minimum quorum needed to play the respect game? Can we do it with 2 people?
Yeah, technically you could. I mean, it just it works best
Because
with 3 people.
I have a rule. I have a minimum of 4 as a rule. Like if the team can't bring 4 people together, you can't. Just like I thought it would be really powerful to have, like, if you don't reach consensus by the end of the hour, and we have like 4 groups, and one doesn't because like they're arguing or they're going long, they don't deserve, like, that. The whole point is to reach consensus. So I have a couple ideas. Again, we didn't implement the second one, but we have a basic rule as a minimum of 4 people needed to actually even just like reach consensus. And again, that becomes a problem when we only have 3 people, and then it's like, okay, what are we doing? But I do think that I was just curious if we at Eden Fractal had any rules like that.
In my first group, it was 3. The first session I did, the minimum was 3 people had to show up because the purpose was to get people talking, heard to, and appreciated. So it's just not quite good if Zaal and I appreciate each other and that's it. It's like, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, I appreciate you.
I also see that we got GudaSol.
Yeah,
GudaSol made it in as well. What's up, GudaSol? I hope you're doing phenomenal, fam.
Yeah, hey, GudaSol, welcome. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, it's good to be here. It's been a minute.
Yeah, good to see you.
Well, I'm just going to be kind of listening in the background. I just had a call and also got some work to do, but I'm really grateful to see you, Dan, to see you, Eric, and also Zaal. So I'm stoked that you guys are still going. And yeah, I'm doing other fractals and things too. So yeah, we're keeping it alive. I was just in a fractal with Chris Barnes.
Oh, nice.
So at 2 this week, he comes to my one. I do an Antelope developers fractal now, and he came to that, and also to my easy token fractal. So yeah, that's my update. I'm doing good. I'm in Guatemala. I have an amazing partner named Amaka now, and yeah, I'm loving life. But I'll let you.
Hey, GudaSol, do you want to share that link for that fractal? I would love it. And then Dan and Eric, if you guys are cool with it, I would love to pop GudaSol at the end of our consensus here, if that's possible, because he made it. He gave a little share. That's what I like to do personally in my fractals.
That's true.
I can't imagine there'd be an issue with that. And we're just talking about minimum people, so you've made us 4 now. So I love it.
Yeah, I'm down with that. So there's so much to say right now. It's great to see you too, GudaSol. We really appreciate you joining, and way to go, and huge congrats and much excitement for the things you're doing with the Antelope Developer Fractal and the Easy Fractal. As I mentioned in the chat, I've been following your progress, and really love to see everything you're doing. And this is a very nice little update here, so I think that's definitely deserving of respect. We actually just finished our respect game here, and we just reached consensus in the Telegram Fractogram app, but we can add your address on they were happy to. I mean, you gave contribution during the second game, so obviously you can give
I know
a
enough, Greg. I showed up super late. I mean, it's up to you, but I don't.
No,
I don't.
that's the beauty of this is like I feel the consensus and the sharing are actually technically two different parts of the process. I've had some people where they're like, "Oh man, I can only be here for 15 minutes." I'm like, "Come in, share. We'll reach consensus on you." You know, like that's kind of the beauty of this tool is that you don't need every single person to agree on actually reaching consensus or even be there potentially.
yeah. Well,
Just the act of getting heard and appreciated. That's it. You definitely
Yeah,
were heard, and
exactly.
we definitely appreciate you. And so you show up here, and we say we would like to share our appreciation of everything you're doing because it's great stuff. And that's the only point. Nothing else matters.
Well, thank you. I feel very honored.
you're very welcome. Yeah, and we did reach consensus
By
too.
by the
So
way, yeah, and talk about recruiting in the chat. I put the flyer I used to get a lot of those recruits, so you can see, kind of what the messaging looked like, if that helps.
thank you for sharing that. That's for the Career Catalyst collaborative that you were introducing before. So you can check out the video as I mentioned before. We're going to be sharing it soon, and I can also share it. I'm sharing it on Google Drive with Zaal later today if you want to check it out sooner. And GudaSol share t.me/flex tokens. I'm curious to learn the flex tokens. So I would love to hear a larger update at some point. Maybe if you can make time in a coming week and you can give like a more detailed presentation of things you've been doing with Flex tokens and Easy, as well as the Antelope developer fractal. But I've been enjoying reading the chat, especially I've been reading all the messages, or not all, because you have like a lot of great developers in the Antelope developer chat that are like way over my head. But I've been skimming through it and looking and reading, and I love seeing all the stuff you're doing there. And I love that you're meeting up with. I saw, like you mentioned, Chris was there, and I saw you had Michael from EOS USA and Rodrigo and all the great Antelope builders there. So yeah, I'd love to see what you're building, GudaSol, and really appreciate you joining and saying hello to us here. And yeah, to mention what Zaal said, so I agree with what Zaal said, but also consensus is important to determine who should get respect. And we do have consensus. I think Eric and Zaal and I all agreed that we'd be happy to give you some respect for joining and just being here for a bit and gracing us with your presence. So thank you very much, and I will make the ORDAO proposal now. And
I did also want to
you-
mention
okay.
I spoke with
Oh,
Vlad this
wait.
week about Singularity, and I forgot about to say that, and I just want to say that was cool. It's cool when you mentioned the fractals you were a part of, Gudasol. I forgot to mention that I had a great conversation with Vlad about Singularity and what he's doing there, and we should definitely just reach out to him in the chats. Because he's trying to help solve the funding challenge and leveraging tools like Solana and essentially creating a token launcher, but with missions and like a little bit bigger idea. I think right now the way it's set up is that the top six holders hold a portion of like governance token essentially. And it's cool. It's not perfect. He wants to eventually get it to the point where the top fractal holders, not just the token holders, are the ones that actually control that treasury. So I definitely just wanted to give that update as well.
Yep.
If I can jump in on that, like, I'd love to hear more. I don't know if I've ever even heard about that. One thing with Chris Barnes is he was a few years ago developing a way to have the block producers be organized, paid, and vetted in a more fractal format, and then introducing like the human layer of the inflation. So I'd love to look at what he's doing and sort of pass it on to Chris and see what he thinks, because like what. Not to take over the meeting, but I do want to just give a little quick update on what we're doing. Is we're trying to improve the core protocol, and in order to do that, the two things that are really important are number one, consensus, as well as block producer pay, and then also like creating a resource model that people can onboard with, start to use it, and not have all the power up nonsense and BS. So yeah, thanks for passing that link, and I'll check it out. And back to you, Dan.
Yeah, thanks, GudaSol. I'm happy to pull up there's
Uh,
so
and
many exciting topics here.
and and I'm gonna have to take off because I'm actually in another meeting
Just before you go,
over
Eric,
there.
It's good to see you, Eric.
just one thing we forgot to do is elect a delegate. Could we just elect a delegate? Right now, Toss has two spots and I have one spot. So I would be I would be honored to be a delegate if you want to vote for me,
Yeah,
or if you want to vote for
I'll
yourself, then
vote
I'm
for
happy to do that too.
Dan.
I vote for Dan to be a delegate.
I
Okay.
vote for Dan.
All
Fun.
right. Thank you all. Thank you all. I'll do my best to
And then
support
wait,
you and
Eric,
others
before
as
you
well.
leave, if you get a chance, just take a look at our Telegram chat again. I definitely want to revitalize some of the energy around doing something together. I wrote something
Sure.
over to
Oh,
you, I think, but we never ended up continuing on that convo. So just want to remind you.
Yeah.
if you could also just vote in the poll too, I'd appreciate that in the Telegram group. I voted for Zaal by accident, and I don't remember how to unvote for Zaal right now. I hit the wrong button. I'm gonna see if I can unvote for him on my phone. The right click isn't working to unvote, as far as I can see right now. All right. Well, thanks to Eric.
I
don't wanna
can't
keep
even
you
vote
longer.
on that, to be
You can't.
honest
You
with you,
can't
Dan.
vote.
Yeah,
What?
I think it's
Well,
All
glitched.
right. I'll just put it in there.
it won't let me
And
vote.
oh, really? It's glitched. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. I'll just put it in there
It just
manually
says
then.
final results, Zol, and it's done voting.
yeah.
Really? Maybe I could delete it and then and then recreate it. Let me
Yeah, we
try
also
that.
do have on recording the consensus, so
That's true. Yeah.
I wouldn't be too stressed.
No. Yeah. And it's going to go on chain. I'm going to vote for it. It's going to go through ORDAO anyway. So, but I did just recreate it and I voted for myself now. So I don't know if you guys can vote again. But no big deal if not though. I
Cool.
just thought that'd be a good record. But yeah, thanks so much, Eric. It was great speaking with you, and I hope that the rest of your meeting goes well, or the rest of your meetings. And looking forward to
Cool.
hearing more progress updates as it proceeds.
Yeah. Great connecting.
Yep, great connecting. See ya. Okay, great. So, yeah, we are over the official time because we started at 16 UTC and it's now 18:07 UTC. But I'm happy to continue for a bit longer too. If you guys want to go and head out at any point, then we can wrap it up whenever. I can also pull up if it'd be useful. I appreciate GudaSol. You shared your. I believe this is the Easy community. You shared that flyer. If you want, I can pull that up on the screen and show it to both.
Yeah, I'd love to learn more there too. So I think between the three of us, we have consensus. We want to hear more from GudaSol. So
Okay.
Okay, cool. I do want to jump in not too long, so I can do a couple minutes though.
Okay.
If I can share my screen real quick.
Yeah, you should have access.
Okay. So now that's just
Yeah.
the singularity that I was looking at.
Also,
So
Vlad said he was going to
basically,
join Eden Fractal soon, so he can present the singularity.diy, maybe the next event. But go
so
ahead, GudaSol.
quick overview of Easy. We were the first token that was able to try out a new way to bond to different USDCs. So from that bonding, I mean, right now price is crashing and we are liquid against these other tokens that are crashing. So we're crashing also. But we created a way that through bonding to USDC in a smart way, we were able to create pretty much like continual growth. And then we're also doing like buybacks on the main account. So these main liquidity positions between the stable coins, we buy back with that. But the cool thing about it is really the reflection token aspect. So we're also the first reflection token on XPR, or really on, I think on any Antelope chain. And what that means is that every time that there's a transfer fee, so every time somebody transfers, we take a 2% tax. That tax goes into a pool and it just shows up right here on the balance. And then once this gets over 1,000 easy, it starts to get sent out as rewards. So we're seeing a bunch of like pending transactions. Most of these are our bots. So we get like a ton of volume from our bots. We do like about 500K of volume per month in dollars. So we're actually the highest volume stablecoin on XPR. And from that 30K, or from that volume that we're doing, we're taking this 2% fee from the bots because they're still making money, they're still willing to trade it. And then we have this action called reflect, or actually it's called distribute on this contract, and it sends out all these interest payments. So all these people are holding easy, like Pluto Cash, and then he's just getting all these reflections. So like if we look at his account today, it's been busy. He got like 4 reflections worth about a total of maybe between 50 cents and $1. And that's from having only $10 of no, that can't be right. I'm sorry, it's worth about 5 to 10 cents. So 5 to 10 cents on $10 in one day. The last month it did 1.8% in the reflection. So it's not like crazy the amount that it gives, but it is really good for a pseudo stable coin. And then like when we have our meetings, we have a contributor club meeting, and that's the poster that I shared where any of the volunteers can decide who did the most, and we only pay the first, second, and third position. So we have a consensus process, and then first, second, and third gets paid out easy every month, and that comes from a collective pool. And it's been like between $100 and $250 for about like the past 3 or 4 months in total. So that's not too bad. Like sometimes you can show up and make like $50 for coming to the meeting if you did the most for the community. So the last thing I'll show is we have this welcome program. So we created a way using like an MLM, like a multi-level marketing concept, but instead of people buying in for money, they actually have to pay money to bring people in. So like this guy paid, his bank score is 17,000 easy. So we actually pay twice that much. And how it works is they pay 200, 100 goes to the account that they're inviting, and that's enough to activate the reflection. So they're starting to get interest. And then the other half goes to a bank, which is then yielding back to the collective pool that then distributes to everybody. And your invite score, so this guy has a huge invite score because he had a good downstream. He actually referred the guy who brought in a bunch of other people. That determines your bonus, which is a tetrahedral level. So he's actually getting his banked easy times this 11 because that's the level that he's reached by getting this high invite score. So we just launched this about 2 weeks ago, and we already have like 228 signups. Some of those are bots. We got botted, but even the bots, like somebody had to pay to bring them in, and they got like rewarded because of that. So they're getting bigger reflections. And we also distribute some of the protocol, like how much we make on the liquidity pools, we give that back to people. In addition, we're also on Solana. So we have a working bridge from XPR to Solana. And yeah, like we got an active community. People love us on XPR. We're really involved with all the other projects. We're made a lot of connections. We're also like the #1 farms. So we have more farms than anyone else on Proton, like rewarding meme, which is our other token for basically staking easy versus another token. And then easy basically becomes like the stable coin itself. So that's the skinny on it. And but yeah, I am
God damn, I have so many questions, but I imagine Dan does too.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna let Dan go first. That's sick. That's all I want to say. I want to have a longer conversation, GudaSol. That's what I'm bother out of you. I'm gonna shoot you a message on Telegram and we'll find the time. But
yeah,
that's
and
cool.
ask in the group honestly because it's good to have
Perfect.
the conversation in the Telegram.
Yeah. I'll just start there.
As well.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I don't know if I'm part of that group. I know I'm part of the other one, but let me try copying and joining so I can read up on it there too. By the way, GudaSol, so
Yeah, what was the second group?
The
long one,
Antelope.
that's like it's a kind of Antelope developer group. The goal is to either make a new blockchain or just improve like the deep protocol level stuff. So we got some of
Well, Dan, you should explain a little bit more about Firmament and what you guys are thinking, because I think it could be really interesting with everything there as well. But yeah, sorry. I'm gonna just chat in there. But that's cool, GudaSol. Appreciate you.
Yeah, there's definitely time. I want to respect everybody's time too. I know GudaSol has to go in a few minutes, and if we start talking Firmament and Antelope, then obviously feel free to share more about Antelope if you want, GudaSol, and what you're doing with Antelope Fractal. That's really exciting. What you're building there, I think. But yeah, Firmament is stuff that can go pretty deep, so that might be good for another conversation when you have more time. And also, one thing I want to just note or just ask before we go into any other topics or before we decide to wrap it up is just GudaSol. I was trying to put up the proposal on chain on the ORDAO app that we have, which is where we distribute respect tokens and make our proposals and stuff like that. And I asked you in the Zoom chat if you have a base account where we can give you your Eden Fractal respect so I can enter that. And if you could send that to me, then I'd appreciate that. And then also, by the way, I don't want to overload you with information, but if you wanted to, then you could claim your Eden Fractal respect from Epoch 1 as well. I'll provide the link here too. I'm not sure if you saw those messages when they first came out, but we have there's a website that Tada set up that allows you to claim all the respect that you earned on EOS for Eden Fractal Epoch 1, and you can claim on Epoch 2, or claim it rather on base now. If you go through there, and if you wanted, I could share any additional documentation, or we also have a video about that too, but it should be pretty simple. Thank you for the account, and I'll make the proposal now as well.
So do we need to sign the proposal, or does everybody need to sign it?
No. So the way that ORDAO works, it has an optimistic governance system. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to learn about it yet, but basically, if just one person has enough respect and other people aren't voting no on it, aren't vetoing it, then it can be approved on its own. And so I have enough respect to be able to approve it just on my own. But if you guys want, then you're definitely welcome to vote on it too. I have to still create it, but I'm just going to be putting it up on this screen as the eden.frapsxyz, and then I'm going to have to go, I'm going to click the button that's in Telegram, in the Fractogram app, and then it's going to show up as a proposal over here. And then, yeah, as you can see, like these past two proposals, just I think me and Tadas voted, and there was no votes no, so I don't think there'll be anybody voting no, so it's not necessary. But if you want it, then you can vote. Then you can vote on it as well. And then if you do claim your respect on the Eden Fractal Epoch 1 respect from EOS, then you can use your the respect that you earned during the first epoch of Eden Fractal over the past few years to vote on these kinds of decisions in the future, in case you want to vote no or vote yes on them, or participate with respect in different ways. And happy to provide any more detail if you'd like about that, or if you wanted to provide any more details about the Antelope developer vector or easy, feel free to as well. I'm going to go ahead and make this proposal before I forget, and then I'll share it probably in the Eden Fractal Telegram chat after it's done, just so everybody can check it there and can vote there and so forth, or just confirm that the proposal is correct and that the addresses are correct and stuff like that. But otherwise, it should be good to go. And if we want, we can wrap it up whenever. I know you said you got to go soon, and we can always save more of the discussions for later, or I'm happy to stick around for another, I don't know, 10 minutes, something like that too, if we want to go into any more detail about the Antelope developer vector or anything else like that before we wrap it up.
No, I mean, I'd love to catch up with you another time, Dan, on a personal level and things like that, but I feel like you've been here for 2 hours. I know how that feels. So, yeah, I'd love to wrap it up and put it in the cards to come back to a future meeting and hopefully be able to be there for the whole time.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so we've both been through our fair share of long meetings before. Sounds like your voice is a little deeper, by the way. I don't know if you got a different microphone or something, or maybe you've just been just maybe training the. Have you been training your voice by playing didgeridoo every day? I kind of imagine that, or getting the soprano or whatever that's called. Anyway, yeah, we can wrap it up. And yeah, it's a pleasure seeing you, GudaSol. I really appreciate you joining, and looking forward to collaborating more and hearing more about your updates going forward. If you'd like, we can organize. Well, actually, I mentioned before we're going to have our 4-year anniversary of Eden Fractal coming up. It's actually in 4 days, but we're going to celebrate it in some way on the 18th. We didn't plan it, but if you'd like to join for us, if you'd like to join us for then it would be great to see you there, and we could figure out some way to celebrate. I think you've been there for maybe all the anniversaries so far. I don't know which ones, but at least a couple of them. And yeah, a couple. Yeah, and yeah, same to you, Zaal, of course. Thanks so much for sharing the Zao Fractal presentation and everything you're doing there today. And yeah, if you ever want GudaSol, feel free to let us know if you want to give like a longer presentation at a town hall about these fractals. It's awesome that you've been taking the initiative and pioneering two fractals now with the Easy and with the Antelope developer fractal. So if you want to, arrange some time, both at Respect Games, obviously you're always welcome to share the updates. And then if you want to coordinate and give like a longer presentation, kind of like Zaal did with the Zao Fractal sometime, then we can organize that as well. But otherwise, I suppose we can wrap it up. If you guys want to join me for Go Eden Fractal or Go Fractals, then we can do that as we often do. Is there anything else you guys want to say? Any last words, or should we count down and maybe say Go Fractals?
Go Fractals? Okay.
All right.
No, I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thanks so much. I'm looking forward to next time. And on 3, 2, 1, go Fractals! All right. See you next time.
All right, peace. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.